Okay, no rest for the wicked, especially in this condensed schedule. David Pastrnak, Jonas Korpisalo, and the Boston Bruins, after landing yesterday, early afternoon, late evening. Ooh, Morgan Geeky back in his Carhartt, some casuals. Landing yesterday, back at it at the TD Garden. So with that, we're going to welcome you into the Ultimate Bruins Show, presented by Jordan's Furniture. Sophia, Billy, and Barry here with you from our beautiful Wasabi studio here at TD Garden. And that was a long trip, you guys, but we're back at it. We're back in the action. Not exactly how the Bruins wanted it to pan out, especially the ending. They did not like how it ended, the way they lost, the fashion in which they lost, and they really wanted to continue that short win streak going, but they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I hated the last game.
Yeah.
I said on Morning Brew with Razor, I said I had a hard kind of time getting over that one. I didn't like the way that second period.
Makes two of you?
No, but also 2 trips in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Those last 2 games, Minnesota, the trip before goal, and this one here, those last 2 games, Billy, you had an opportunity to come home with an unbelievable trip.
Yeah, and everything was fine with 3 minutes remaining in the second period.
And then what happened?
And then this. Ugh. You lose a battle multiple times behind the net. You don't pick up the guy in front. You don't get a save. All right. You take a bad penalty in the offensive zone. You give up a goal with 1 second remaining. And the game was over at that point. I know in theory we kept saying, okay, get one on the power play early in the third, et cetera. They didn't do it. I felt, the game. And here's the thing that really perturbed me the most. We take a look at the numbers here. Is they wasted David Pasternak's 2 goals.
Correct. And I actually thought the most encouraging thing, Billy, of that road trip was the last few games. Pasta, to me, looked like better. Of the Pasta of old, a little better jump. I think those couple of days off where Sophia was sick on the road, Pasta was able to feel a lot better and look better. But it's not only that they lost those 2 games, and then the 2 games at home against Montreal and Ottawa, 6-2, 6-2, Seattle 7-4, in Mini 6-2. You're getting blown out. You've got to work at that aspect, so we're going to get into it later on, the things they got to work on. A very immature game. When it comes time to step up, it's a very immature approach to the game, and they got to get over the hump.
And what did you think on that note of the coaches, Marco Sturm's, you're using a word immature that he used, Marco Sturm's message after the game? I'm trying to find my words here myself.
I think we're getting to the point now in the schedule where he's done a lot of coaching. You're just past the halfway mark, Billy. From your coaching days, my coaching days, and other things, you know that there's only one thing you can control as a coach, and that's ice time.
Right.
And if you're going to continue to take bad penalties, you will not play. I think that's where you're going to have to end up going eventually.
Well, I think it has to be there now, and which kind of surprised me. I'm getting ahead. Sorry, we don't have the lines, but I thought we were going to see some different, 1 or 2 different players. We're not expected to in this, because to Barry's point, that's really the only hammer that a coach has, and they feel that they need to go, I guess, with this same line. They're tweaking the lines here and there, but disappointing. The good news is, cliche 101, so they get right back at it. But this is a tough game after that travel, getting back, resetting, 1st to 5 at home. If they do not get their act together, they are going to be, because we're seeing separation in the standings now, they're going to be in trouble if they don't get it going.
Absolutely, and it would be so important for them to get off to a good start for this 5-game homestand after a 5-game road trip. You win some, you lose some, but starting it off right, getting the vibes good at home, kind of maybe revenge or just a game where you just want to make up the loss in Seattle. As we take a look at the schedule, starting with the Flames, so they just played them on this road trip, and then a 1 p.m. and then a 5 p.m. So like you said, tough with the time adjustments, but you got to do it. And Andrew Raycroft, he is rinkside tonight. Razor, listen, with this condensed schedule, I know everyone's going through it, but 5 in a row at home when you don't have to worry about travel for a while is a gift, and the Bruins have to take advantage of that gift.
They do, because unfortunately they didn't take care of the 5-game homestand before the holiday break, so this is a great time to do so. Coming off of a long road trip, the longest of the season out west, they get home later yesterday afternoon. They get to the building today and get right back on the horse after a game that they felt like let get away against the Seattle Kraken, where they had a really good opportunity. They're playing for the third time in a row, a team playing on the second half of a back-to-back, so it's a great opportunity to, like you guys said, get back on the horse. Morgan Geekie and Marco Sturm talked about as much this morning.
There's obviously a little bit of disappointment, after the last game in Seattle. I think just the way that it ended and the way that we kind of gave up goals. But I think we're at the point now in the year where you can only dwell on it for so long, and to be able to come in today and have a fresh slate this morning is good. We went over it in video and looked over some of the issues that have been plaguing us for a little bit and just look to correct it tonight.
Saw Calgary last week. What do you want to see from your team this time to get the full 2 points?
Yeah, that was a really good game for us, kind of getting out of it, first of all, out of that little stretch we had. We didn't like our game. I thought Calgary was a really, really good step to the right direction, and that was basically the message today. We need to go back to that foundation we built during that game, and we kind of lost a little bit last game. So it was actually good timing. So that's all. We need to go back to our game. That's it.
So, gang, as you can hear, the message is you have to look forward. This league does not allow you to look back as a player, as a coach. You just can't afford to worry about what happened in the past, but you worry about what's right in front of you. And for the Boston Bruins, that's the Calgary Flames, a team that they played real recently. The pre-scout's easy. They know exactly what the Flames offer, what they can bring to this game, and the Bruins have to find level, find energy on their home ice, and get this homestand off to a great start.
Razor, as I look at the last 5-game homestand that they just left on, I can remember how excited we were before that started because that road trip was pretty successful. Yeah, you had a bad game in Minnie to end that trip, but they started to look like they were heading the right direction, and Billy and I were really excited. And then they come home and they've lost 4 in a row at TD Garden and went 1-3-1, and we really thought at that opportunity they were going to move up the standings. So this 5-game homestand is just huge.
It is, and Barry, it's really similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they ended up starting off Buffalo not great, but to go 2-2-1 on the 2-2-1 on this road trip is really good. Unfortunately, the last trip, like Minnesota, doesn't leave the best taste in your mouth, but they have a huge opportunity. 2 conference games on the weekend back-to-back with teams that are in that same playoff hunt. Mm-hmm. They have a huge opportunity here with 5 games to go on a run. So I think the vibes are very similar, but you need a different outcome.
Yes, they do. We'll see if they can get off on the right foot for this 5-game homestand tonight against the Flames. Razor, we'll talk to you a little bit later as you go 1-1 with Pavel Zacha. Okay, we talked about wasted opportunity for David Pastrnak for the team. He had 2 goals in this one, and there he moves up for most multi-goal games for the Bruins all-time with 76 guys. When you were seeing him scoring, did you feel like the Bruins had it? He had it before that second period.
Yeah, he did. Barry talked about it. Starts to look like he's got a little bit more rejuvenation in those legs of his. The fake slap shot. He had to corral that puck, and then we showed it on the intermission. Watch how at the last second it turns on its side, and it helps the elevation, but that's also just phenomenal hands and instinct. That's what it is. And then this is a great 2-on-1 with the cross in the middle of the ice and both players crossing their hands to get the puck back. The fact that Charlie McAvoy got involved in the offense too, they're a huge boon. I know you talked about that, Barry, wanting to see more of it. And then Pastrnak from that tough angle puts it in.
Yeah, and I think too, Billy, if we look at this road trip, and as we just talked with Razor, there's a lot of positives to come out of it. When you go out west for 5 games, 4 games, and then in Buffalo to start it off, to come out of there 500 is pretty darn good. But I thought going into this trip, you and I were concerned to where Pasta's game was. He didn't look comfortable. He just didn't look like he had that first jump. I'm hoping that as he went on this road trip with a couple of extra days off, he looked a little bit more energized, and I thought he had a better first step. You?
I agree. No, I that's what pissed me off about the other night is that he was going, and we were talking, both him and Geeky, and we'll get to Geeky later in the show, needed them to get back going, and he was doing it. And then the Bruins, the rest of them, just, they didn't take advantage of it. I think 2-2-1. I know what Razor said. I know what you're saying. Yeah. I still don't like it. This team can't. I know 500 on the road's fine, but they're chasing right now.
Yeah, I agree.